Good morning, children. Again, I am back with chapter 4 of History, part 2. Name of the chapter is Mughal Empire. In the previous video of Mughal Empire, we have seen about the establishment of the Mughal Empire, who was the founder of the Mughal Empire in India, what was the genealogy of the Mughal rulers, and then what about the ways for the expansion of the Mughal Empire. Now we will read about the other part of the chapter. In this chapter, we will read about the Mughal relations with other rulers. Then the Mansabdars and Jagir. Mansabdars and Jagirdars, they were the position holders. Jabt and Jamidar. Jabt was the land revenue system and Jamidar was the person who was given a position. Then Akbar's policies. Akbar ने कौन कौन सी नीतियाँ अपनाई for the expansion of his empire. Then we will read about Sulh Kul, where all were to be agreed on the same point, and then the chapter would be concluded. First of all, we will see the relationship of Mughals with other rulers. How these Mughals, they maintained the relations with the other rulers of the India, of our country. मुगल्स दे कैंपेन्ड अगेंस्ट अदर रूलर्स. दूसरे राजाओं के विरुद्ध उन्होंने अभियान चलाया था. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट मैनी रूलर्स जॉइंड दिस मुगल्स वॉलंटियरली. अपने आप उन्होंने मुगलों को ज्वाइन कर लिया. दिस राजपूत्स दे मैरिड देयर डॉटर्स इनटू मुगल फैमिलीज, just to recognize the identity of the Mughals and to make the good relations with them. Rajputs, they also received the high positions in the Mughal court, because these Rajputs, they married their daughters in the Mughal royal family, and in turn they were given, these Rajputs were given the high positions in the Mughal court. Just like Raja Man Singh, he was given a high position in Akbar's court. Though some of these rulers, they accepted the sovereignty of the Mughals, but even then some rulers were defeated. Even after the defeat, these defeated rulers were treated honorably by the Mughals. How they were treated? The land, whatever was captured by them, that was returned to these rulers, and it was considered as the assignment of Mughals and was known as the Watan Jagir, कि जो जीती गई भूमि मुगलों के द्वारा वापस की गई थी. Now we will read about administration under Mughal Empire. The Mughal emperors, they were unable to rule the entire kingdom, so the entire kingdom was divided into smaller units, and these smaller units were governed by mansabdars, jamindars and subedars. Now, who were mansabdars? These, the people, those joined the Mughal service, they were enrolled as mansabdars. And the mansabdar, it means the person, an individual who holds a mansab, means जिसको कोई पोजीशन या रैंक मनसब के रूप में दी गई थी. Mansabs, they were mansabdars, they were appointed from diverse backgrounds. अलग अलग लोग मनसबदार नियुक्त किए जाते थे, like Turkish, Irani, Afghans, Rajputs, Marathas. Why? So that these Mughal emperors, they could attain the favor of all the people there in the country. Now, what was Mansabdari system? Mansabdari system was a grading system used by the Mughals to fix rank, salary and the military responsibility. ग्रेडिंग सिस्टम होता है बेटा, सबसे छोटा ग्रेड, उससे बड़ा सबसे बड़ा, लाइक दैट. And it was according to the rank, salary and the military responsibility. Rank and salary they were determined by a numerical value. न्यूमेरिकल वैल्यू होते हैं जिसको हम संख्या के हिसाब से जानते हैं, 1000, 2000, 3000, एंड दैट वाज नोन एज जात. एंड द हायर द जात, द हायर नोबल्स पोजीशन एंड सैलरी. जितनी जात बड़ी होगी उतना ही पोजीशन, रैंक और सैलरी भी ज़्यादा होगी. These nobles with a जात of 5000 were ranked higher than those of 1000. Automatically it is showing that the person who is getting the salary of big area, that would be considered, that would be of 5000 jat, and the person who is getting the salary of 1000, that is of low grade. Every civil and the military officer was given a mansab. During Akbar's rule, there were 29 mansabdars with a rank of 5000 jat. Now in the next one we will see what were the jats and what was sawar. What were the functions of mansabdars? Mansabdars के काम क्या क्या थे? The mansab, they were required to maintain a specific number of सवार और cavalrymen. इतने घुड़सवार उन्हें बनाने थे, जरूर मेंटेन करने थे. Why? To help the Mughal army to strengthen it whenever required. Cavalrymen were also registered. The horses were branded. कैवलरी जो घुड़सवार होते थे उन्हें रजिस्टर किया जाता था और घोड़ों के ऊपर निशान बनाए जाते थे. Mansabdars received their salaries as revenue assignment. Mansabdars, they were given the salary. Then from where they will get the salary? They will get the salary from the Jagir, and it was to be collected in the form of revenue. Mansabdars, they did not reside, क्योंकि उनका रैंक ऊंचा होता था. They did not reside in their mansab or Jagir. Rather, they served in some other areas, and their revenue, it was collected by their subordinates, and these subordinates were known as Jamidar or Subadar. These revenue were roughly equal to the salary of the Mansabdar. Now we come on to Jabt. What was Jabt? Jabt, it was the land revenue system. And under this Jabt, each province was divided into revenue circles with its own schedule of revenue rates for individual crop. These circles means the revenue, they were not equal for the entire empire, but it was decided according to the specific crop. Akbar's revenue minister, who was Akbar's revenue minister? It was Todermal. And Todermal, he was also one among the 9 gems of Akbar's court, and he carried out a careful survey of crop produced for 10-year periods. On the basis of this data, the crops of 10 year, he used to assess the revenue for the land. What are the interesting facts? That during Aurangzeb's reign, औरंगजेब के शासनकाल के दौरान, नंबर ऑफ मनसबदार्स इंक्रीज्ड टू 79. अकबर के समय में कितने मनसबदार थे? दैट ऑफ 5000 जात. They were 29, and during Aurangzeb's rule they increased up to 79. As a result, क्योंकि मनसब औरंगजेब ने he generously granted the mansab, but the land was the Jagir was not given to these mansabdars. Actual revenue collected from Jagir, it was very less whatever the salary they were decided. As a result, Jagirdars or Mansabdars, they started collected as much revenue as possible. And in this way, because of the ways of these Jagirdars or Mansabdars, these peasants, they suffered a lot because the Aurangzeb, he was unable to control the corruption with the peasants. Now we come on to jamidars. Jamidars कौन होते हैं? That make a chain between the peasants and the Mughals revenue department. They were known whether they were the small headmen of the village, whether they were the small peasants, whatever they were, but the people those worked as intermediaries between the peasants and the Mughals revenue department, they were known as intermediaries, and their work was to collect the tax from the peasants and to submit it to the central government. Peasants से tax लेना है और मुगल से सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को रेवेन्यू सबमिट करना है. Now we come on to Subadar and Suba. Subadar और Suba क्या होता है? Subadar was the owner and Suba, it was the province. Abul Fazl, he has written, he has explained in his experience that during Akbar's rule, the empire, it was divided into different subas. These subas, they were governed by a subadar, and he was given the political and the military functions. The subadar was supported by the other officers. Subadar अकेला काम नहीं करेगा बेटा. He won't be able to. There would be the other officers also to maintain peace and order in the Suba. Who were the different ministers there? They were Diwan, Bakshi, Sadr, Fauzdar and Kotwal. Diwan, he was known as the financial officer, Rajaswa Mantri, Vitt Mantri. Bakshi, the military paymaster, जो सैनिकों को सैलरी देगा. Sadr, the minister in charge of religious and charitable patronage, धार्मिक और कल्याण कार्य का मंत्री, that was known as Sadr. Then we come on to Fauzdar, the person who is the head of military. Last we come on to Kotwal. Kotwal is the town police commander. So these were the different officials to head the to help the Subadar. Now, what is the difference between Iqtadar, Mansabdar and the Subadar? Iqtadar is the term, it was there in chapter 3, but we have not done. So, let us see the difference between all these. Iqtadar was the term used during Delhi Sultanate, and Jagirdar and Subadar, that was the term used by the Mughal Empire. During Delhi Sultanate, the land, it was known as Iqta, and during Mughal Empire, the land that was known as Jagir as well as Suba. Iqta, that was governed by a person known as governor, but he was popularly known as Iqtadar or Mukti. In the same way, the Jagir that was ruled by, that was governed by Jagirdar, and the Suba, it was governed by Subadar. Let us see what were the functions of these both. काम क्या क्या होते थे इनके. Iqtadar, he was to collect the taxes from Iqtas, again as their salaries. He administered ikta and paid salary to the soldiers from the tax they wanted, they collected. All these were done by these people. Next we come on to Mansabdars. Mansabdars, they collected taxes from Jagirs as their salaries. मनसबदार को उनकी सैलरी के बराबर जागीर से रेवेन्यू टैक्स कलेक्ट करना होता था. एंड दे पेड सैलरीज ऑल्सो टू द सोल्जर्स फ्रॉम दीज कलेक्टेड रेवेन्यू. सूबादार, he was the governor of his Suba and maintained peace and order in his area. He was to provide the military support to the Mansabdar whenever required. Then we come on to residence. रहते कहाँ थे? इक्तादार, he used to live inside the ikta, whatever was to be ruled by the iktadar. But the Mansabdar and the Subadar, Mansabdar never lived in their Jagir, but the Subadar, he lived in his Suba. That was the difference between the Iktadar, Mansabdar and Subadar. Now we come on to Akbarnama and Aine Akbari. ये क्या हैं? These are the two books written by Abul Fazl, and there are the 3 volumes of these two books. Akbarnama, that was written by Abul Fazl. Abul Fazl, again, he was one among the 9 courtiers of Akbar court. He was given the responsibility to make a record about the history of Akbar's rule, and he wrote a 3-volume book known as Akbarnama. But it has 3 volumes. First volume, that is Akbarnama first. Second is Akbarnama second. But the third, that is known as Aine Akbari. The first volume, it dealt about the Akbar's ancestors. ये अकबर के पूर्वजों के बारे में बतलाता है. It recorded the events of Akbar's reign. और सेकेंड वॉल्यूम में इसमें जो अकबर के शासन से संबंधित घटनाएं थी, these were recorded. And the third one, the last one, आईने अकबरी, it deals with किस चीज़ के साथ? अकबर्स एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, हाउस होल्ड, आर्मी, द रेवेन्यू, द जोग्राफी ऑफ हिज एम्पायर, द ट्रेडिशंस एंड कल्चर ऑफ द पीपल. of which people? The people those who are living in India. He also mentioned in the book about the statistical details about which crops were grown, what was the produce, कितनी उपज होती थी, what was the rate of the produce, what the salary was given to the workers, and how much revenue was collected. All these things are mentioned in the book Aine Akbari. But last we come on to about the religious developments during Akbar's reign. अकबर के शासनकाल के बारे में क्या धार्मिक इम्प्रूवमेंट थी, डेवलपमेंट्स थे. We'll see, we have seen that Akbar was a great ruler. He decided to rule the empire in a proper manner. Just to see that there are the different religions followed by the people of the empire. So Akbar started religious discussions when he was at Fatehpur Sikri in 1570. In 1570, Fatehpur Sikri was the capital of Mughal Empire. There he had the discussion with the religious scholars. They were ulama related with Islam, Brahmins with Hinduism, Jewish priest, they were related with Jews religion. There were also the Zoroastrian, also that is the name of a religion. The decisions टुक प्लेस इन इबादत खाना, और इन सब के बारे में कहाँ बात हुई, कहाँ फैसले हुए, दैट वाज एट द प्लेस नोन एज इबादत खाना. Then Akbar realized that these religious scholars, कौन से religious scholars, the ulama, brahman, priest, of Zoroastrians, all they wanted that whatever is said by these people, that should be followed blindfoldly. Questions, any question, these people should not arise. The teachings of these religious teachers that created division, धार्मिक विभाजन कर दिया, and harmony among subjects. Next is Akbar developed the idea of Sulh-e-Kul, or also known as universal peace. अकबर डेवलप्ड द आइडिया, अकबर ने सारे धर्मों के लोगों के साथ बात की, बट आफ्टरवर्ड्स ही केम ऑन टू द कंक्लूजन दैट ही शुड स्टार्ट अ न्यू रिलीजन वेयर ऑल शुड एग्री ऑन द सेम पॉइंट. This idea of tolerance was universal in nature, that was accepted to all. It focused on honesty, justice, and peace. Then Abul Fazl helped Akbar in framing a vision of governance about this idea, that how this idea can help Akbar to govern in a proper way. That was the chapter, children, and I will be giving you the exercises of this chapter tomorrow through video, but I am giving you the homework. You need to learn the assignment of civics chapter 3 that was given for homework. Correct, children? So thank you very much.